Hey, Wichita, we are back with another episode of Coffee Break the Podcast. I am your host, Officer Chad Ditch with the Public Information Office, and I am with my co-host,
Officer Trevor Macy with the Public Information Office. Pink. Today. On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
On Wednesdays, we do wear pink.
Your pink is so bright, it's reflecting in the logo. And I thought, for a second, that Tyler added like some pink steam coming out of the coffee cup or something on there. But yeah. It's just your bright shirt.
Yeah, I'm here supporting Gum again today. So.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man. So we are recording midweek on a Wednesday after the weekend.
Is it okay? So if it's Wednesday, it's midweek. Is it after the weekend or is it before the weekend?
Ooh, that's fair. I would say it's midweek. But
so is it before noon? It's after the weekend, but afternoon it's before the weekend.
There you go. I like that. We can go with that.
Like we split it at noon.
Yeah,
we'll call it.
If I tell you Monday though, let's go do lunch. Are you thinking coming up or?
Yeah, I'm thinking like Monday the 31st, which is Halloween.
It is. If I say next Monday, we're gonna have lunch.
Monday the 31st.
Okay.
Halloween.
I got you.
We've had this conversation before.
I like it though. I like it.
You're gonna quiz me each time, and it's like gonna change probably depending on how my brain is functioning that day.
So it's been a super busy week, bro. I thought it was Thursday.
Busy, yeah. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to show up for CompStat. 1 was gonna be at the wrong location. 2, it's not even today.
Yeah, wrong day.
Yeah, wrong day.
You're a day early and $1 short.
About 60 cents short. But yeah, man. How was your weekend though?
It was good. I took a couple days off.
When was your birthday?
It was my birthday.
There you go. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I am
like 19 or
20. Just turned 20. I'm eligible to be a cop next year.
There you go.
Finally getting out of the
still can't buy nicotine.
Junior officer phase. Get rid of my sticker and get an actual badge.
There you go.
No, I'm 31.
Dang.
31.
Dang.
So yeah, I'm in my 30s, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just 31. That's it.
My 20s are over, and I'm depressed about it, Chad.
You are?
I just felt like the 20s were a good decade.
Yeah. And 30s are even better, bro.
Are they?
Yeah, until the one day you wake up, you get heartburn after you eat certain foods and stuff. Like that sucks.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway. Not big. You guys
Yeah, and I just kind of chilled at home, hung out with some friends. I got a Blackstone for my birthday, so I'm super stoked to cook some food on that.
You haven't cooked food on it yet?
No, I'm waiting because I don't have like a place to put it. I don't have like a patio or anything.
Oh, I got you.
So I'm trying to have a patio put in, and then I'll work on my.
What do you want to cook first?
I don't know. I kind of want to do smash burgers.
Yeah.
I'm a big burger fan, so make some smash burgers with some bacon and some cheese, and special sauce, toasted buns.
Bro, it sounds delicious.
My mouth's watering now. How about you? How was your weekend?
It was busy, man. I worked part-times again. We're about to close on the house, so I'm trying to.
Oh, that's exciting.
Got the eyes on the prize, so yeah. I had 2 8-page papers I had to write for 2 different classes. So.
Oh, what classes?
Criminology and then U.S. law enforcement.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 8-page papers. Yeah.
How much longer do you have in classes?
This is my last week. So
and then are you done, or you have more classes next semester?
Yeah. I've been taking 2 classes every 8 weeks since April.
You're getting your master's?
No, bachelor's.
Bachelor's.
Yeah.
Nice.
I took a long time, man. It took a long time in between getting my associates, and I'm like...
Well, you had military and then...
Yeah, then life.
Another career in life. Dude, it is hard. Like, so I was thinking about taking a year off when I was in college. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, if I take a year off, I'm never going back.
That's where I'm...
Because I would lose motivation. Yeah. So I just had to truck through and finish, and I was like thinking about, maybe I'll get a master's, but I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know if I want to go back to school.
See, and that's where I was at. And then since I've started in April, it's nice to see all those classes just come off and stuff. And get closer to the final. And that's where I'm at.
I remember getting done with classes and being like, that is the last time I will ever have to do algebra in my life. Yeah. Like, it was so rewarding.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, I've been doing that. We're getting ready to close on the house here in a couple weeks. So, just seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, and we're super excited, super stoked. So
cool.
Yeah, man.
You've been getting ready for a lot of stuff with work too. You got your social media town hall. That's tonight.
It is.
So it'll be over by the time people see this podcast.
Yeah. So hopefully it goes well. I'm sure it will.
We can talk about it next week.
Yes. Yeah. We will talk about it next week. We have our new chief. He should be in town, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. I think he's down here doing some, what do you call it? Not clerical work.
But like the HR stuff before you start your job. Like you got to do all the paperwork. You got to do the background check. You got to cross your T's and dot your I's and sign on the dotted line.
I'm super excited, man. Super excited.
That'll be cool.
So,
and then we got, what else do we have coming up?
Bro,
Christmas Crusade donations.
Christmas Crusade, yeah. But not the bigger thing, but this thing that comes up sooner is this Friday, at Clap Park, which is over there near
the Halloween crawl.
Is the candy crawl. The candy crawl.
The watermelon crawl.
Yeah. Patrol ECP, as they partnered up the last couple years with Parks and Rec, bro, and it's one of the coolest.
That sounds awesome,
bro. It's so cool because they have a bunch of officers. They have the mounted unit sometimes, but they'll have the motor unit, K9. I mean, the whole shebang, and then they get fire, and there's businesses involved too that come out. But it's a dope time, a free event. I mean, we've had 1,000 people that show up, just kids.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty dope, man. And the weather's always worked out well.
Yeah,
so
that's good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, man, it was a good time.
We've also got the DEA is doing their drug take back event this Saturday. We're helping them with that. You can take drugs, unused, unneeded, expired prescription medications. You can take to Patrol West at 661 North Elder. Yep. Patrol East at 350 South Edgemore.
Yes.
I got the addresses right in my head, Chad. In my head. That's geography lessons in the academy paying off.
So when you were in the academy, did you have to know all of the bureaus?
Yes.
The hospitals.
JIAC, jail, sheriff's office, city hall. And guess what? We didn't even get tested on it. We spent like 2 weeks memorizing that. We were literally jogging laps around. We were jogging laps around campus, just like literally like chanting the addresses to try to memorize it.
Who was your FTO?
Petrowski.
Oh, yeah, he would be.
Why wasn't it on the test, Petrowski?
Yeah.
If you're watching this.
Yeah. Tell him, Eric. Tell him.
I never use his first name.
That's true. He scares you, huh?
It's just like, it's like when you have your teachers in school, like you graduate and they're like, yeah, you can call me Tim now. It's like, I'm not going to call you Tim.
No,
like,
you wouldn't jump on it?
No.
Have you ever had the supervisors that are like, hey, call me Bob?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
No?
No.
See, like Blake, my old partner, McElwain, he grew up military kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's always, yes, sir, no, sir, that kind of thing, Mr. So-and-so and everything like that. Over the years, I've been more personable, and everything. Obviously, I'm not going to just randomly call a Sergeant Bob or something like that. But if they say, hey, call me Bob, then I'll call you Bob. But at the same time, like, there's that line.
Right. It depends on the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if I just met you and you tell me to call you Bob, I'm probably still going to call you Mr. or Sergeant or whatever. Because I don't know you like that.
Richenberger was like that.
I never called him Bob.
Yeah.
I called him Sir.
Yeah.
Or LT.
See,
and that's pretty much.
That's true. Some people are like that though, man. Some people it's a little bit more personal.
I guess. Yeah. I get it. No harm, no foul. But we have a speaking of sirs.
Ooh.
We have that's my segue. Speaking of sirs, we got a sergeant here.
Yes.
Who we call sir because of the rank structure. So that's where my segue was going.
Oh, I got you.
Not that he's like a knighted lord or sir.
Okay.
It's not Sir Elton John. It's not Sir Ian McKellen. It's Sergeant Brian Safris.
Yes. Got a bunch of roles.
He has so much going on. And he's going to talk to us about some exciting new developments. Bro. So we'll get a refill and we'll get him on.
Let's do it. All right, we are back with Sergeant Brian Safris. Sarge, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We know you're busy, so we appreciate you coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
thank you for asking me.
No, anytime. So one of the questions that we ask, Trevor usually likes to ask it, but I'm going to ask it today is, have you seen the podcast?
I have not.
Oh, that's the first one in a couple interviews, right?
Not a fan.
But he's so busy.
I am a busy person.
Busy enough to miss 34 weeks of
It's
podcasts?
been up there, bro. We've been April 6th. April 6th, I think, is when we started doing this, and we haven't missed a week yet.
We should have done it on April Fool's Day. That should have been the first.
I don't have an excuse.
No, you're good.
I feel bad.
I wouldn't. I don't like to watch myself either, so I can say that I've only seen snippets.
Oh yeah.
See,
so I'm not an avid watcher.
Well, that's true because you're here. I just make sure I just look at it, see if it looks good and everything, because Tyler always makes it look good. So
make sure your shirt's
my
not
shirt's
blown
not
out.
as loud as it is today. But no, so we started this because we wanted the community to be able to know who the people are in the department, not just, Officer Trevor Macy, but, who's Trevor. So we asked our guests the same thing is, tell us who's Brian Safris.
Well, I have been a member of the Wichita community for just about 30 years now. Came here with the United States Air Force out of McConnell, which is a similar story to a lot of people.
Yeah. Me?
Some
very
close people. Mm-hmm. So that's how I started my journey to Wichita, was through the United States Air Force. Arrived here, volunteered with the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Department as a reserve. Thought, I would like to maybe get into law enforcement. Found out that I really, really enjoyed it with the Sheriff's Department. Came up to my point where it was time to re-enlist, and I'd made a decision I was going to re-enlist and then stay in as a career, or if I could get hired, I would jump on board with the Wichita Police Department, which they were hiring at the time. So I put in an application, and it came to fruition, and here I am.
There you go.
Have been in many roles with our department, from as a patrol officer to a community policing officer, beat coordinator.
Okay.
Went into the gang intelligence officer position for a while. Mm-hmm. Back to patrol, back to traffic enforcement as a patrol bureau. Then I did that for several years, promoted to detective, worked as a financial crimes investigations detective. Mm-hmm. Moved into DV sex crimes as a detective. Promoted back out to the street as a detective. I also got heavily into digital forensics, which included downloading cell phones, cell phone mapping. When we have records, we can go backwards and find out where people were, match that to stories that were told by individuals, and see if the two
match up.
So a great investigative tool.
Right.
Same with the cell phone download techniques that we have and capabilities. Promoted to sergeant, back out onto the street as a third shift supervisor, and then back down to investigations at the city building I supervise a crime analyst and our digital forensics up on the 6th floor. And that's kind of where I'm at. I have two wonderful children. Okay. I have a 22-year-old and a 9-year-old. So we
a little gap.
Little starting over period. But sometimes we find ourselves starting over.
Yeah. There you
go. Wonderful children. Very lucky.
There you go.
Beautiful, lovely wife.
Yeah.
And
got to be to put up with you for her.
I know. We have a lot of fun. Yeah. She's wonderful. I am very blessed. My parents live local. Yeah. Excuse me. And I'm involved in a lot of things with the department right now, pushing out an RTM initiative that one of the analysts brought, and we're trying to get that going, working with the community on that, engaging, and also the flock camera system, work heavily with that. I'm one of the co-administrators with Casey Slaughter on that, which keeps us both very busy.
Right.
And trying to expand that footprint.
And we've had, sorry for cutting you off. We've had both of them. We've had your crime analyst and Casey Slaughter on the podcast.
Okay.
So
I knew you had the analyst. I didn't know you had Casey too. That's good. Yeah.
So you're super busy.
I'm very busy. I stay busy.
So, which is good. Makes time go by fast and everything.
It does.
So everything you've done so far in the department, I know you got a lot going on now. What's been your favorite out of all of them?
Well, I would probably have to say going back as a third shift supervisor.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that because I'd been off the street for a while, and getting back out there. It was very eye-opening.
Right.
Yeah. At first, I will say that because anytime you remove yourself from a function where you were very proficient, you could handle any call that comes out. Right. You step away from that, work in an investigative role, and then you move yourself back into that. You're kind of a fish out of water.
Yeah. Right.
So and I recognize my resources very quickly, and that's 1 and 2 year officers.
Right.
They're hey, come here.
Yeah.
How are we doing this?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, you're still rolling as a supervisor out there, but the important thing is recognizing the value of your troops.
Yeah.
and bringing the best of them out.
Yeah.
And clearing that path so that they can move forward with what they see should be done. Yeah. And sometimes you trust but verify.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get you get things told to you, and you just make sure, okay, this is
right,
and let's move forward with your plan.
And being a military guy, I think it's one of the things that I've always respected about supervisors, no matter where you're at, is like when you're able to finally become one, just to see that advice that you give people, to how it opens up their eyes, or how they take your advice and it works out for them and stuff. I would agree. I'm not in that position, obviously, where I could be a supervisor to go back to patrol, but I bet that is kind of rewarding to see that. So.
Yes, it is. It is. And sometimes the 30,000 foot view, and might be at the 15,000 foot view.
Yeah.
And you're saying, I see why you're going this direction, but let me explain something, and just explain why it might not be the best route.
Yeah.
And, I've had some bumps and scrapes through my career, and then you recognize things. You recognize those signs. Hey, you know what? I was doing that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That didn't end well.
Yeah.
Hey, let's try something different.
Yeah.
And you can get out in front of that. And, you're protecting the organization, but you're definitely protecting the individual too.
So. Yeah. Because I think sometimes as young officers, we want to help out the community. That's one of the main things and stuff. But when we deal with actual, like, quote unquote criminals, we want to charge them with everything. And sometimes it's not the best thing to do, right? Sometimes it's, okay, is it really worth all this time for the DA, for the detective, for everything? So I definitely see what you mean, because it took me a little bit to realize, okay, we don't need to worry as much with this, but this definitely needs to be charged and addressed. My bad. You keep wanting to ask a question.
Well, no, I was just going along with that. It makes such a huge difference when you have a supervisor too that is like a mentor too, and will kind of guide you on things, and they're not just there to tell you what to do, but to actually have like a conversation and work through things and help you learn and develop, and that's super important.
It is important. And I had some great mentors. Some supervisors I took those points. Hey, I don't want to be this guy.
Right.
But a lot that I pulled from that were genuinely concerned, caring, compassionate, and motivated to move the organization forward and teach people. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing.
So speaking of teaching people, you got something going on right now with your unit, or at least something that just recently was passed by the city council.
Yes.
You want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, I do. It's very exciting, and I'm really excited about the support we got from city council and the mayor. This is something that is affecting everyone, and it is the catalytic converter thefts. And I'll tell you a little backstory first. Another component of my unit is gathering information and sharing information amongst police officers or commanders so they can make informed decisions, and going from an intelligence component to turning it into actionable intelligence. But you have that information coming in, but I'm part of a group. Our department is part of a group, Major Cities Chiefs Group. There's a subgroup within that is the Intel Commanders Group. Okay, and that is composed of, well, I think at this point they're up to about 75 major cities. Oh, wow. To include Wichita, the larger agencies throughout the country. And I'm talking some of the largest: New York City, Philadelphia, Boston. I mean, there's some heavy hitters when it comes to police organizations. Well, we have an annual conference in Las Vegas, and one thing that we are able to do is have a roundtable of the intelligence commanders, and we discuss things that are going on in our communities. And of course, you have the typical answers: staffing, which that's everywhere. That's an epidemic. We had a lot of people talked about catalytic converters, and a gentleman, Eric Schlappa from Omaha, was talking about what their city is doing, and it's an ordinance for possession of a regulated metal. I said, whoa.
Tell me more.
What's up with that? I want to figure this one out.
Right.
So write that down just so that I can go back and contact him later. Later on, we had dinner. We talked. And he was telling me about it, and their process was, you get a permit through the city, you can possess it if these conditions are applicable.
Yeah.
Criminals got wise to that.
Right.
Okay. And they said, well, all we have to do is go buy a license and we can possess it.
Yeah.
Police can't do anything.
Right.
So I said, well, let's simplify that.
Mm-hmm.
And through discussions with our larceny sergeant, Trevor McDonald, he's like, just illegal.
Yeah.
If you can't prove you own it, you shouldn't have it.
Right.
I mean, it's beautiful in its simplicity.
Yeah.
And then, we get together. I got with law department, and this thing just evolved. And when I say it evolved, I got with a rock star, Jan Jarman.
Yeah.
And she made it happen. Just boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 step, done. Got us on the agenda, and
Here we are.
Yeah. So the numbers just they don't lie. I mean, the numbers are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think, what was it, the 18th I went to council, we were 940-ish.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember the number. I'd have to look back at my notes. But, I mean, as of today, we're at 978.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just, boom, just keeps climbing.
In a week.
Yeah,
Right?
it's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
And those are reported.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, those are reported numbers. There's so much unreported theft that we don't know about. So this has also gone out to our regional information sharing through Springfield or MLCIC, our risk network that we share information with other agencies throughout our region. This ordinance is already there. They're already reviewing it, and they're going to disseminate it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So other agencies can say, hey, if they can do it, we can do it.
Right.
And hopefully it will just, continue to move forward, and we can maybe get a handle on this, because sadly, these thefts will still occur.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We know that.
Yeah.
But we can hopefully put a dent in it,
Yeah.
and put a dent in the people that are, doing this and victimizing people.
Yeah.
And the thing that's sad is you got a plumber who's going out in the morning to get in his work truck, who's got a string of jobs lined up.
Yeah.
This guy or gal gets in their vehicle, and it's just louder than ever.
Yeah.
Right.
They've been victimized by somebody stealing their converter. Now they have to stop doing what they're doing, get their truck fixed, which then it affects me if I'm waiting for that guy, because I took off work to meet him to come and fix my sink or whatever. And just the ripple effect is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then, of course, same with parents and kids trying to get out the door for work and school.
And it's one of those other crimes too that is just tied with substance abuse.
Absolutely.
I've personally arrested several people that have been in possession of these. You can't charge them, and a lot of times they're in possession of methamphetamines. They're on parole, probation, something. But it's their addiction that's leading them this way and everything too. So, it's nice to be able to charge people with this now, because, when you don't have those other underlying circumstances with the methamphetamines or warrants and stuff, these were cut off. I mean, you have sawzalls with it. You have you could tell it's recently been cut off, and there's like a bunch of them and everything, and they're driving like a Honda Civic.
Blades laying on the floor.
Yeah. 2 + 2 is 4 in this scenario, right? So it's nice that we're city council was able to approve this, so that way officers on the streets can charge this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And without their support, of course, it wouldn't have. It would have died on the vine.
Yeah.
And we'd still, Friday it goes into effect, and I hope this puts some people on notice.
Yeah.
If you're not living right, you better start changing some behaviors.
And just a shout, really a shout out, just to point out to the younger officers that listen to us and stuff, or even the older ones. Also keep in mind, what you're looking at too, when you're on that car stop, or when you're at that house for some other reason other than, a domestic violence call or something like that. But if you're doing your interdiction and stuff, keep your eyes open for this, because this is something that we could charge with, and you can dig further and do your investigation and stuff. So
it's got to be pretty cool too to be a part of making something like this happen, because as a beat officer, you're out there and you're enforcing the laws that are currently in place, and then the ones that don't exist, you're kind of like, well, sorry, I don't make the rules. But now you're kind of getting to have a part in creating that's got to feel good, right?
It's very rewarding. Yeah. And you know, I joke with the analysts. I'm like, just give us one.
Yeah.
Just give us, you know, let an officer catch just one.
Yeah.
You know, we want success with this, of course. You know, and the thing is, it's measurable.
Yeah.
So we will know. We will know those numbers will decrease. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this is as successful as, you know, of course we want it to be. But you know, it's like you said, Chad, you hit it right on the head. Addiction, and when that is fueling it, sometimes you don't know which is the common denominator, the converter or the meth. You know, but at some point, one or the other is, and one fuels the other. But you know, there's programs that are available to people who do get caught through court. You know, so. That is kind of the silver lining, because ultimately you do want to get people help and get them off the substance, get them back into society where they're productive, and, you know, being productive for themselves, being productive for their families and the community. So I hope it has that trickle-down effect. But yes, to answer your question direct, Trevor, it's very rewarding.
I think, too, it's going to help out even more, and sorry for cutting you off again.
I know, my bad. I can't get a word in edgewise. Come on.
Respect for that
guy. But the next time that if we ever have another one of those where we etch the security, the VIN number, the cat guard. I think that will help people even more, or encourage people more to come out, because now not only will we be able to arrest people for this and stuff, or secure that evidence at least, now we can be hopefully get this back to you and everything too. So.
Well, and that's where the reporting is going to really come into play. We are really going to want people to report these thefts, because if we are catching people with these, we can check a certain geographic area and see, okay, did it happen in this area? Because we have a report to follow back with, or even, you know, throughout the city, we can still say, okay, here's a converter. You know, I mean, you know, there's apps. We can get an app and put the thing the converter in there and see what vehicle it came back to, so we can go that way too, to find out if
people are like target.
I got you. Marry that back up to a victim. So
I was going to ask a question, but I figured you were ready.
Where are we sitting right now, year to date, on catalytic converter thefts?
To date,
978.
And we still
year to date,
60 days.
And that's we've got another week of October, and 2 more months. So
hopefully we'll see those numbers start going.
You know, we were at 1,360
last year,
and we gained 30 in a week.
So
I mean, add that up.
We gained 30 this last week.
We'll probably fall just under those numbers. But you know, hopefully this ordinance will make a dent in it.
You know, you also, switching gears briefly, it's still obviously about you and your team. But Senator Moran was here today. I think this is a good time to talk about that as well. And he graciously was able to provide Wichita Police Department with over $1 million for license plate recognition stuff. So you talked about Flock. Can you? And we've talked about it on the podcast before. These aren't the cameras that are Big Brother trying to watch you and everything. It's not something that we normally can even see who's driving unless it's a certain angle and everything where the camera is at. So can you talk about what this money will be able to provide Wichita for the police department and the community?
Yeah, absolutely. Historically, some of the first things that people go to for investigations are cell phones, information from family, and recently it's been the ALPR, the automated license plate reader systems. Get that information, get an alert put in, get that information out to the officers on the street working, and lay that broad stroke out so that everyone has it. And we have a lot of surrounding agencies that have access to our system, and they see that also. So if vehicles are moving throughout Sedgwick County, and you know, fortunately even nationwide, we have but the money that will be coming in will only expand the footprint that we already have. And that reach is where we want to just keep moving. And to your point of seeing people, the only person that was ever spotted on a flock camera that I'm aware of locally is where a person was hanging out of a vehicle, turning around, shooting a gun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That is the only time, unless they're on a motorcycle, then you can see the back of the person.
Right.
But you can't even see the drivers. But the power of that tool is unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah.
When you get a good vehicle description, and we can get officers with those alerts, whether it be an Amber Alert, whether it be, an active, violent crime situation where we have an active shooting investigation occurring. Stolen vehicles, that's another good one.
Yeah.
I mean, those things, they're pinging all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, in the wintertime's getting ready to come up, so a lot of people get their cars stolen during that.
The idling time of warming up the car. Yeah.
And so just to clear up some clarification, I guess, on these aren't live like surveillance cameras. They're just purely for capturing license plate data and vehicle data, right?
Right. It's just a vehicle image. It's just an image of the vehicle, and it recognizes the license plate characters. Yeah.
One thing that I've really enjoyed about this technology is that, as officers, right, when we hear those tones, if you will, we all want to get there fast, right? We all want to get there safely and stuff. But it also allows us to not rush into it. If you know you're far enough away, well, you can jump on Flock if an armed robbery call comes out and they say it's a black, Tundra heading north. Right. You can plug that in, throw in a case number or whatever location the incident is, and start helping out that way. While everybody else is, I think that's a benefit, and that slows people down, still lets you be a part of the team during that call. And before you know it, you might end up just rolling right up on the car before they even.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's an opportunity we didn't have before.
Yeah.
This is uncharted.
Oh, yeah.
Because we did not have that technology to layer on top of the other technologies that we have.
Yeah.
And when you can take technology and layer it and start using it for what it is, man, powerful.
Another thing, just sitting here thinking about my bad. Is another thing
flipping that thing over.
Is I'm sitting here thinking too is like. In stressful environments and stuff, right? We tend to get tunnel vision. Our hearing goes and everything like that, right? Well, if you're looking into flock and stuff and you see this car is in this area, well, when you're coming into that area, your stress should go down a little bit as far as now you're in control because you're expecting something as opposed to being in a different block and all of a sudden, like, there it is.
Right.
I think that's a big thing to take away as well.
Yeah.
Kind of slows the narrative down just a little bit. Yeah.
And then it gives you time, especially because sometimes with these vehicles, we might locate them in a parking lot abandoned, and let's get time like, hey, okay, I have this car here. And, whether you set up or whatever you do.
You get your perimeter set up and hopefully catch someone that's in the area on foot. Yes.
All these great tools.
And, yes.
And there's nothing wrong with more tools in your toolbox.
No, it's wonderful. And, just some of the stories that we have for successes for families getting property back to them. We had the ACE team for a while.
Yes.
I supervised that for a little while. That was just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of property and I say the value of vehicles that were recovered was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we're over like $4 million.
We were just scratching at $4 million. Yeah. And that was in 6 months.
Yeah. Well, and that team was also, you would learn more about catalytic converter people that were thefts and stuff like that. Like it was all about auto theft, essentially.
Oh yeah, we got in a car chase one day with
the news crew, right?
Well, yes, we did.
Right.
But absolutely. Yeah. But we also got in another car chase where when it stopped, there was a converter and a Sawzall in the back seat. Yeah. I mean, it just, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It is everywhere. And this does, with this ordinance, with the technologies we have, we are able to at least do something, where before you just have to send them down the road.
Well, I'm super excited. I know you and your team and Slaughter and Sergeant McDonald, they all work extremely hard, especially trying to combat this. I mean, we get requests for interviews all the time about catalytic converter thefts, auto thefts, things of that sort. So we appreciate all your guys' hard work. I'm excited for the officers to be able to implement this. And
yeah, the few officers I've talked to and said, hey, this is coming.
Yeah.
This is coming. We just got to get it through council. We just got to get through council. And they're like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, they're just like, there's no way this is even happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So it gives them, because they've experienced it, just like you said, just like you've experienced, you know. You
can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But you just can't prove.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. Yeah.
Well, one thing I know is on this podcast.
Gosh, that segue.
My segue was pretty good.
Is this your segue? I don't know because I don't watch it.
Right.
I will.
Chad always tries to have like really good segues,
Yeah.
and some days he's like way off, and some days he's just like setting the bar.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is we play a game called One Has to Go. Say for this one, we talked a little bit earlier.
We did. We were
wanted
going to flip the script a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
we're going to bring what has to come back.
Okay.
So this one I chose 2 electronics and 2 foods.
Ooh.
So you got the Game Boy, you got the Kool-Aid Squeeze-Its, you got the
Kool-Aid-
pager. What?
Kool-Aid Bursts didn't go away.
No, there's
Squeeze-Its
Squeeze-Its.
did.
Well, it's a Squeeze-It, my bad. And then the chicken fingers from Burger King or chicken fingers in general.
chicken fries?
Or chicken fries, yeah.
Yeah.
So
chicken fries.
And a
this
beeper?
one and the beeper. This one of those 4 you got to bring back. Everything else stays.
Okay. I told you I was going to bring.
Did you bring a prop?
I told you I was going to bring a
But you
prop.
forgot it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
I
got a
did.
prop.
So can we bring back 2 things?
2 things.
Is that fair?
Yeah, you're gonna bring back this and then
Bring
whatever-
back. You know, as a funny thing, I'm going to show my age. I have that Game Boy at my house.
See,
Nice.
But I bought it originally.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how young I am.
yeah,
I'm going to have to say bring back the chicken
the
thing.
chicken. Oh man, those were my favorite lunch
Yeah.
of all
Good.
time.
Yeah, I go with the chicken
Yeah,
fries.
especially dip them in some mashed potatoes and gravy.
Those are good.
So like Squeeze-Its, they were awesome, but like they're just straight sugar.
Right.
And like
Oh,
I
for
just
sure.
can't I can't
Yeah.
do that
Yeah, you
anymore.
can catch a little
The-
protein with the chicken fingers.
The physique Mr. March over here would say something about it.
Oh, he's a handsome
whatever.
fella.
Right?
Oh, thank you.
He is a handsome fella.
Thank you.
But-
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to take over.
No,
No,
it's,
you
it's good.
take over.
It's all
Okay,
about
so
you,
so
Richard.
this is one of the things that
Oh my.
we do need to bring back.
we need to bring back Trevor.
Trevor's mustache. Because
That's awesome.
I don't know how we're doing this, Trevor.
That's
I
pretty
don't know.
good.
So
How'd you
I
get so
never
dark?
tell.
I remember Deputy Chief Salcedo and myself giving you a hard time one morning,
Yeah.
and it was gone the next day.
See?
I felt so ashamed.
No.
You'd be proud.
I couldn't tell.
I mean,
Salcedo saw me the other day. He's like, "Hey, you need to grow the stash back out." And it's like every time I see either of you guys, and I can't tell if you're serious
Oh, yeah.
that you think the stash looks good, or if it
Look.
just gives you comic relief throughout the day. So you want.
I don't know what's more entertaining. This is the mustache or the White Claw you're drinking, bro.
No, I left that
Stole
in
that
there
from
in-
my Facebook. Didn't you?
Hey, this is open source stuff,
Right.
okay? This is all
Great.
open
That's a
source.
great pick.
Yeah,
it
the
is.
White Claw got to stay.
The Hawaiian shirt is vintage too.
That's hilarious.
Those have to come back.
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirts got to come back.
But that mustache
Is
is...
this Sharpie?
Well, okay, I may have drawn that on there.
He when Top Gun, the new one came out.
Yes.
He was rocking it for a while.
See?
Yeah, I had it for a few months,
Yeah.
a solid few
Go.
months, and I was working a lot of wind surge games.
Yeah.
And they all called me, the wind surge people all called me
Goose?
Goose Cop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
He does pull it off. More
Oh,
than, better
I know.
than some.
I know.
So
Salcedo beat him up pretty bad, though.
yeah.
Yeah, Salcedo was, he just like, it was like joke after joke after joke. I was like,
It was rough.
come on. And I'd only been up here for like a couple
yeah.
months at that time. I
Yeah, and
wasn't.
you're getting beat up by...
Man.
Fire up and stuff, yeah.
It was good
Yeah.
humor. It was good razzing.
That's
It was
hilarious.
fun.
Well, that's funny.
So you keep those, okay?
I will keep-
Trevor?
I'll put
Yeah, I
these,
made those for
yeah,
you.
just
Put
like-
these on my cork board in
That's
the
a
office.
pretty good paper too.
yes,
It's got a little
yes,
colored printer and stuff.
yes. It's
Well,
quality stuff. So sorry to take over.
No,
I
you're
told you I was
good.
going to bring a prop.
I thought you were bringing like an 8-track or
No,
something.
So I was expecting him to, pull out an 8-track
Because we
player or
talked about
something.
that this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the
Absolutely. Good
Walkman,
stuff.
Sony Walkman needs to come back.
Uh-huh.
That's what we're
Yeah.
Or the
Yes.
cassette, bro. Like
cassette tapes. We're
That's
all
pretty
about the
nice.
retro vibes here.
Right. Man. Well, speaking of vibes, we're at the point where we have to take a refill, but we do appreciate your time. We know you're super busy.
Thank you.
We're excited for everything you guys are doing up there.
Yes.
But yeah, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
We are back. Man, I did not expect him to bring those out.
I know.
Bro.
He said props. I was not expecting
these
photos with these just the worst mustaches,
bro. You
on them.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good photo though. That's downtown Wichita.
Yeah, that's at the Lux.
Oh, okay.
And my buddy took that. We were hanging out on the patio there.
Did you know he was taking the picture?
Obviously.
I hope so, because that'd be a little awkward.
That's yeah, that would be awkward if he's just snapping candid photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time. I think that was right after some sort of fundraiser we were at.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then this is my academy graduation picture. Look how much I've changed.
I know, right? Cute little ribbon or whatever you got there.
Ribbon
or whatever above your name tag.
That's my shooting badge.
I got you.
My shooting badge, man. Come on,
man. Speaking of badges, bro, Safris should have got a badge for his presentation that he gave to the city council. Did you watch that?
He has a badge.
No, like
he's a cop.
A ribbon.
Oh, like an award.
Badge is like an award.
Okay, okay.
Oh my gosh, we ain't talking.
That was. Like
anyway, he gave an amazing presentation. Like, it's always like it when people are presenting stuff and then they're able to provide answers for everything. It just shows like how much work that you put in to prepare.
Well, yeah, when you have a subject matter expert, talking about something that's way better than having just somebody that just learned about it. That's why, like, when we try to do media interviews, we try to set them up with the people who know the most, because we're not experts on every aspect of the department.
Right.
We're the spokespeople, but we always
sometimes it's a different perspective coming from an officer who's worked a certain case as opposed to a detective who's
they do it,
the case.
because there's a different frame of reference, but then they also have a different role in that, and that's gonna affect how you gather the information and put out the information. So
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I wish I was
that ordinance. That ordinance is huge. So that's gonna be a game changer, I think, as far as enforcing catalytic converter theft.
Absolutely. So we're gonna need to do another like tweet from the beat so we can get back out on the streets and and maybe locate something like that. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. We also need to remind people once again to not leave firearms unattended in your vehicles. Thieves are opportunists.
Yes.
And they will seize an opportunity to gain something of value. Yeah. One of those things of value is a firearm.
Yes.
If you're leaving your firearm in a vehicle unsecured, it's not a good idea.
Yes.
We get a lot of those stolen, and we're gonna keep harping on this till the numbers go down.
And I think it's to the point too, man. And it's been to the point that it shouldn't even just be firearms. We address firearms because of the lethality of it and everything, right? How dangerous things can get.
But it's anything.
Yeah, but like, don't even leave your wallet.
No, I never do.
Car,
no,
you know what I mean. So, because like I said, it's opportunists. We get messages.
Complacent.
We get messages from people that are providing evidence and stuff, from their car getting broken into, and you see the Ring doorbell footage, or you see security camera footage of kids, teenage kids or adults and stuff that are literally walking down the middle of the street in the middle of the night and just going by.
Yeah, they're just checking door handles.
Yeah. And guess what? When the door don't open, a lot of them walk away.
Because they're not going to sit there and break the window out. Some do break the window out. But a lot of times they're just checking because, like I said, they're opportunists and they're looking for that easy opportunity. Get in, get the stuff, get out. And if you're leaving your car unlocked.
And I think the ones that when they break the window, it's because they can literally see what they want. Yeah. Because you got to think it's human nature, right? That we get nervous if we're going to break a window, we have to hurry up and grab something, right? We're going to be or we're doing something wrong, is what I should say.
You sound like you've done this before.
Yeah. But you see it too in like the video footage.
Right.
Where the floodlight comes on and the kids will duck down or they'll take off running and stuff. Like, they already are in the mindset they know they're doing something wrong. So provide a barrier there that will stop them, whether that's your floodlight or locking your car or securing your items.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just take the extra time to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally not that hard.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we're going to keep harping about it until it stops. But
you know what else we're going to harp about?
What?
Sending questions
Yeah.
to be answered on the podcast.
Yeah.
Policeweb@wichita.gov, or you can send us a message on Facebook,
Yes.
on Twitter. You can email myself at tmacy@wichita.gov or cditch@wichita.gov. If you have a question you would like us to answer on the podcast, send it.
Yeah.
We're happy to hear from you. We're happy to answer your questions. We want to be as helpful as we can.
Yes.
For folks listening and watching. I remembered people listening because I remembered that this goes out to podcast land. And some people just like the sound of our voices, which baffles me because I hate the sound of my voice.
Well, it's a little nasally.
It is. It is nasally. It's what a lifetime of sinus issues. Just it wreaks havoc on that.
It's all good. Speaking of busy, man, I don't want to.
We didn't say busy.
You did not say busy. I was thinking in my head. So anyway, you asked earlier about, or you made a statement earlier about how busy we've been.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it until it comes out, but we're working on some public service announcements upcoming for the holidays. And stuff.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So
Social
and I
media.
say we. It's not us in the public information. It's a CP unit that wanted to do something different. So. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited. They got some great ideas and entertaining as well.
Yeah, if you're not already following us, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? If you are not following your local police department, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm with you.
I'm a follower.
And, we need some officers too that we can interview for the podcast. So we've done a great job of getting leadership in the department to come on here and stuff. We've even reached out to some of our professional staff or civilians and stuff to get on the podcast, but I want to get some beat officers, right? Some first, second, third, fourth shift guys or girls that are out there. So if you're listening, don't look to the left or to the right, look ahead. Send that email to me. Send that email to Trevor because I want you on the podcast and it's going to be great. Sergeant Safris was like, man, so how long is it and everything? And it's only 15 minutes of your time. And you get to come on here. We'll talk to you about, just life.
Yeah. Just 15 minutes of your time. We sound like telemarketers or something. Just 15 minutes of your time.
Call the number on the bottom of the
Call
screen.
the number now.
So, speaking of doing things now, we're going to have to wrap it up because
we got to go do stuff.
We're going to get ready for the DV awareness social media town hall.
Yeah.
So we are going to wrap it up. But until next week, you guys be safe. And remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us everywhere on socials that you can find us. So until then, peace.
Bye.